All right, 151 prices are dropping, but people are still buying. The exception is this PCTB for 151. So this is a new low for 151 PCTBs. I haven't seen a 930 in a while. It's been around 940, 950. I think there was like one-off sale, but you're seeing a little bit of accumulation. There's two sellers over here. Each have two of them for about 929, 930. This seller has been making some waves. I've seen it for some Sword and Shield boxes. Like it's like $30 off for like Silver Tempest Lost Origin. I mentioned in my other video. And other than that, like this other price is still around 950, but the price of these PCTVs are going down. I'm not sure how much lower they'll go. They reached 900 the other day. Someone did buy it. But I'm sure a lot of people are ready to pick this up. So it can't really drop too far. But this has been dropping. But I mentioned that there were like price drops. So yeah, the UPC drops, but you're still seeing people buy it up. The ETBs dropped, you're still seeing people buy it up. You see 4 sold yesterday, and the last couple of days, you see like the day before 6 took some break and the 6 were sold. The UPC has been selling like 3 per day last few days. It's actually risen. So it's a little surprising the price drops. But if you look at the spreadsheet here, PCTVs are down $20, UPCs are down 17, ETBs are down 15. Even like Blooming Waters is down 9, and then bundles are down 350. So a lot of price drops for especially a lot of the more expensive items. Like the UPC, the ETB, and PCTB are like some of the most expensive items on this list, except for the bundle display. Yeah, so for the UPCs, let's see, there's one cheaper seller here for about 590. Then it goes to 600, and then it goes to a little bit more than that. So there's just like some more deals over here for the UPCs. For the ETBs, yeah, there's one seller. It's that same seller who's CTC G258. They have 4 of them, so they're like undercutting a lot of people. And then booster bundles over here, they sold 19 yesterday. It kind of dropped a little bit, but still, like most of the prices are around 104. There's only about, I guess these two sellers have 1 each. The seller has 6. Packs sold 47 packs yesterday, and this is after the huge buyout where someone bought like 200, and you're seeing a little more quantity around 1525, just a little bit more. There's about 70 packs now. I think the seller's new GTL collectibles. Other than that, we're back to where I said yesterday. I said that, hey, we're pretty much back to like $16 packs again for 1575. So just a little more quantity here, nothing too crazy. But if you want to get it, like it is a little cheaper, especially this one. 15.15 a pack. At 10 that shipping is like nothing. You buy all 58, so good deal for 151 packs. Like I want to check Blooming Waters. Blooming Waters is now $15 a pack. So I guess Blooming Waters, depending on what price you get, it could be a little cheaper. Yeah, Blooming Waters here sold 2 yesterday, and it's, yeah, there's one cheaper seller here. 175 plus $5 shipping. Then it goes to 190. So yeah, between that cheaper seller for Blooming Waters and the 151 packs, those are some of the cheaper price per pack options. For bundle displays, they haven't been selling the last couple of days, and they're still around 1600. For binders, they're still around 144. No recent sales. For maintenance displays, still just really cheap on 323. Price per pack wise, this is still 1620. As pack prices go back to like 1575, it's still like a really good buy. And then for Snorlax promos, they sold 24 yesterday, and they're still around 1750. All right, Mega Evolution still selling really well. About the same number of Mega Evolution and Phantasmal Flames sold today, about 75 each. I think it's just a little below 75. For this booster box at about 303, this one sold 37. This one sold 19, and then number of cases sold was 3. So you add it all up, it's about 75 boxes. As I mentioned before, case demand should be pretty good. If case demand ever drops, it's something really weird. I'm sure it's pretty expensive, but price per pack wise, it's still the cheapest way. And as long as it remains that way, people are going to keep wanting them. And there's still a lot of people interested in Mega. Like the fact that the boxes are holding about above 300 is still pretty good for like the loose boxes at least. Booster boxes, this one is actually down, I think. That's actually red. But you see a lot of red. The only thing that went up was this booster box. It went to 315. The non-enhanced one went up for some reason. Not really sure why. There's always speculation with that. And then the PCTVs had a big buying spike, but they're actually down from yesterday. Like Lucario's down 10 to 342. Gardevoir is down 5 to 340 to 334. So not really sure. Cases are down about $7. It's about $2.89 a box now. So there's still like a 12 to $15 difference between loose boxes and booster boxes. So and then cases. So this one, this booster box, a lot of the prices are bunching up around 305. So I don't know if it'll really rise. And this one, yeah, a lot of them are around 315. So there's that price differential. Cases are still you're seeing a little bit more breathing room from cases. Like there is a little more margin between each of the cases now. Before they're all around the same price. For Lucario, yeah, there was that big spike, buying spike yesterday at 16. And now the prices are around, I guess there's a cheaper seller here for 242. Then we go back to like this is about also 242, the 245. But yeah, the Lucario boxes, they could go up to 260. But yeah, I'm surprised they didn't really rise a little more. For Gardevoir, they had that buying spike of 14 sold. And these can go up to about 240. This also doesn't have as much price rise potential. Lucario ETBs, the normal ones, 45 sold yesterday is a pretty normal amount. For the normal Gardevoir one, demand increased a little bit from about 30 to 40. And then for booster bundles, a little more sold at about 73 yesterday. It was still around $55. All right, Destined Rivals still heading toward $400. I said this yesterday, but demand's been really good. You see, ever since the PC3 drop, you see ever since the price drop, demand has upticked to like around the 20s to 30s, or that big buyout of 63. Now you see like still every day it's about 20. Definitely more than it was selling before. It's probably this period over here at the end. This was a slowdown from like September 25th to like October 9th. That was a slowdown. Now we're seeing things pick up again. You look at the price ladder, we're back to pretty much 390 almost. We're at 387 now. Booster boxes are up $3, and then PCCBs are down 5, and then cases are down $28. Are at 2,600 now. 433 a booster box. That's about $45 premium per box. But you definitely see the prices start to rise to 400 and 390 pretty quickly still. So I'm a little surprised they haven't done it yet. I'm gonna see what people are actually buying these for. Definitely see people buy these for 390s already. For the cases sold 0 yesterday, 1 today, so case demand is starting to rise a little bit. As people are, they're realizing it's probably a good time to get cases as the price drops. A lot of them are buying them at like the low 2600s, like 2625, 2650. Now there's 2 of them around 2600, so we'll see if people buy those. But there's a lot of price bunch up around this low 2600 range, so we're not. It still has room to drop just because it's so much more expensive than loose boxes. Versus Mega Evolution is not really expected to drop as much, just because it's the cheapest option. For PCTBs, they're down $5. 0 sold yesterday, and these are heading back up to 390, but now I'm seeing a lot of punch up around 355. For ETB, demand's been really rising. You see like a straight line of increasing, going from like 5 all the way to 18 in like the last 2 weeks. You see literally like a 45-degree angle upwards. So people have been buying more ETBs, like 18 sold yesterday, 16 before, 13 before that. These look like they'll go back to 120 if the demand keeps going like that. And then the booster bundles are down to 54. 40 sold yesterday, and these are a little more stagnant around that price point. All right, Prismatic Evolutions demand is insane. So 443 packs sold, 123 bundles sold, and 37 ETBs sold. And there's even some weird behavior with the booster bundle display that I want to talk about. It did go up $80. But yeah, pack demand, I mentioned yesterday, pack prices are back to about $9. You see 888. This is how Prismatic looked like not too long ago. Before there's a little more supply from, I guess, the card boxes, which are also up, and like Prismatic is not really going down, and we're seeing prices appreciate, and things are starting to uptick back up. So to support that, here are the $9 packs. We're seeing a ton of pack demand. Booster bundles, actually this one, the Lucario boxes are reaching above 220 now, or 120, and you see like 121, 122. They weren't selling for this much before. They kind of dropped back down to like the 110s, 115s. You see like these very it goes down up, like it's not like it's been pretty stable, but like it's a little higher than it's been normally, just because like the price per pack makes more sense. The price per pack at this point is about 862. So like these are getting valued more, a little closer to loose packs. These are rising. Like it just doesn't make sense for Prismatic to be so cheap. ETBs, I said they sold 37, which is like usually it sells. It's been selling about like 10, like roughly 10 per day, and now you see that spike. ETBs are still around 140, which they also maintain the price. I said I was surprised yesterday, but we're seeing a lot of momentum in Prismatic in general. And there's still there's ETBs hovering around 140. But there you do see like the 140 ones. I really wanted to break past that. I'm not fully holding my breath on that though. And the booster bundles sold 123. You see like they start to uptick again as they were splitting down. And then prices were around $60. But now they're starting to uptick back to 62. This is a more volatile product. But yeah, this started uptick as well. ETB cases haven't had any sales last couple of days just because ETBs haven't had the momentum needed to kind of get people to buy them yet. But these booster bundle displays, I didn't really notice this. So two things. I noticed that the price went up $80. It's been $1,500 for a while, and there haven't really been any sales for it since October 5th for the full on display, the sealed everything. So someone finally bought one for $1,500, and but what I'm seeing is this used to be like a 2-page listing after a while, and I couldn't even see the bottom ones, and there were a bunch of listings around 1,500 or 1,525, and now they're all gone even though there's no sales. The other thing is that I mentioned that it was weird how there were all these like 10 booster bundle things that were way too expensive. You see, like you just moved the decimal point over. So this is $69 a bundle, this is 66, 65. Like these are much higher than, or a few dollars more than you just bought loose bundles. So there's not really any reason to buy these. There's no even this one, just prismatic packs. And what it looks like is that the sellers, they like remove supply. And also a lot of these picture listings without the full bundle, they've been bought out for some reason. I don't know if it's to influence the listing. I know it was a lot harder to buy from when there was a lot more picture listings, but like just seems like some weird kind of activity. There's no reason to really buy all these extra. You see like a lot of upticking activity like pretty recently of all these bundle displays. There's even quantities of 2 over here. And then so I don't know what's going on with that. And then PCTBs sold 0 yesterday. They're still in the 400s. They're around 408 now, going around 410. The SPCs over here sold 2 yesterday, and they're still around 320. The maintenance displays sold this is a 3-month, sold 0 yesterday. They're still around 202. And then the EV promo is actually, I feel like it's going down. It's 1150 now. I think it was like 12, 13, or 14 before. It did sell more yesterday at 88, so people are still buying up this EV promo. As far as price changes go, yeah, the bundle display is up 8. Lucaro boxes are up $1 about, which is really significant because it raises the loose pack price. And then you see bundles are up $1, super premium down $1. All right, Paldean Fates, PCTB, and bundle display demand is rising. So the PCTBs are up $29 because they were around $400 for 2 days. And then bundle displays dropped to below $1,200, so $1,180 now, and 15 sold. And what you're seeing here, so there is PCTB bunch up sold. You see, it's been selling a lot better than it did in like early October. 1 sold yesterday, 3 sold the day before. Just having over the last week, it sold like every day, every other day. Prices are starting to rise back to 440s. So eventually we will see the reversal happen. There's already a little more momentum. But probably more importantly, the bundle displays, they have sporadic sales because they probably are more expensive and speculative. But someone did buy 4 yesterday. They bought it as it dropped below 1200. So that seems to be sort of the buying point for a lot of people as it drops below. And there's still like 1 left below 1200. This one's a little more expensive at 1295. People are definitely picking these up at the discounts as it goes below 1200. Because I think booster bundles will rise back up. They've just been down lately as there's more supply. But there's definitely a lot of people eyeing the bundle displays versus the booster bundles. As I said before, there's not as much data on them long term. We do have this bull market data, which is a little more different than normal data. But yeah, I think a lot of people think there's a good amount of potential in them. But booster bundles are still around $97 or $98. Packs sold about 6 yesterday. And they're still around $14. Not really worth it. There's some other deals available if you just do the math. And then for ETBs are still selling pretty well, selling about 1 per day. and they've just been maintaining their price point around 282. All right, Crown Zenith demand is starting to rise with the recent price drops. So about 30 packs sold today and 30 packs sold yesterday. You have to see the picture of the scene for that, but yeah, about 36 or 35 packs sold yesterday. And you're seeing pack prices around $14. There's a small amount, but there is about that's about 20 packs. It's about 21 packs. It goes back to 1430s and 1475. So just some cheaper deals. People are buying the dip, I think. Look at the prices. Yeah, people are buying these cheaper packs as they kind of appear. Sea and Sky is still around 210. One sold yesterday. No one's been buying Jam Sneakers, and yeah, if you wanna Sea and Sky go up, just buy Jam Sneakers. I think they'll probably raise it to 220 after that. But otherwise, like people, you're gonna see more. This keeps happening. There, as no one buys GM sneakers, people keep buying the ones up here, but they keep replenishing. And then nothing ever happens for Crown Zenith essentially. ETBs sold another one yesterday, but they dropped to 226. This one seller has two of them for sale. Otherwise, it goes back to 235. So just a cheap deal for anyone who wants it. Booster bundle is down to 122, down a few dollars. And yeah, just one. Yeah, oh, CTCG 253 is back with the cheaper bundles at 122 each. So there's 9 of them, so it's a little bit of a discount for a bundle. Honestly, bundles are kind of selling the best out of like the Crown Zenith products. So really not, as far as investing goes, not the worst pickup. And then PCTB sold a few last couple of days, but they're still around. I see 4, now they're at 415, so they're getting cheaper and cheaper. So price changes, ETBs are down 7 and bundles are down 3. All right, I'm continuing to see demand numbers rise for different sets. So Phantasmal Flames is no exception. So normally the number of booster boxes sold is about 60-ish per day. And now you see an uptick for this listing. So it's 50 boxes sold. And then plus the booster box cases, you see 4 sold, which it still has really great demand. Like booster box case has really solid demand. A lot of cases have 4 sold with barely any breaks. And so total it's about 75 booster boxes sold. And then for the PCTBs, it's also a little spike here. 3 sold yesterday, which may not seem a lot to you, but it was like pretty stagnant for a while. Also only selling 1 per day after the big buyouts. Finally is uptaking to 3 sold per day, which is kind of what Mega Evolutions did before as well, so I'm not surprised. And then for ETBs, 19 sold, which is kind of normalish, a little lower than normal. And then bundles see a spike of 25 sold, so 24 sold. So just a lot of more buying activity now. All right, for joining together, we're seeing an uptick in booster box demand. I'm not exactly sure if it's just people who want to get into it or they want to open it. I'm not really sure. See, 7 sold here, and prices for this is around 260. There's only a couple left, and it starts rising back up. But yeah, these are starting dropping out, they're going back up, and then this one's at 265. It's only 1 to 2 per day last couple of days. There's only like 2 of them here, and it goes to 270. So it's doing a lot stronger because the cases, what I'm seeing in contrast, they haven't sold since October 10th, and price per pack wise or price per box wise, they just make a lot more sense. It's just $2.50 more per booster box to get a case. So if you're an investor, it's kind of a more obvious choice. So it's definitely not like people were like all in on joining together or anything. But yeah, I don't know if it's people like buying for the restaurant promo, opening it, trying selling and do the cost, because I think there's probably still some margin over there. The PCCB over here is at 195, still hasn't sold last couple of days. So the main thing that people are buying is the booster boxes. That's the main thing to look out for joining together. Prices, this booster box is down $5, but they're still pretty strongly around 260. I just keep looking at Scarlet base. Like this is still cheaper than most of the booster boxes, but like people still value this more in Scarlet base. All right, Black Bull White Flare demand numbers. So Black Bull PCTBs are just under 220. They're at 219. One sold yesterday, and now we're starting to see the bunch of cheaper PCTBs. Before that, there was only like 2 of them around 220 that would jump to 240. Now I'm seeing a bit more supply around the 220 mark. So not as much of a price ladder for this. For White Flare, they're down to 203 per PCTB. None sold last few days. Just confirming that, yeah, none sold since October 11th, and this could go up to like 214. So not really much of a, actually that's like a $10 price ladder. For Black Bolt, the ETBs went back to 87. 13 sold yesterday is kind of normal amounts. White Flare is at 82, so we're kind of just retraced back for Black Bolt White Flare. 12 sold yesterday. $82 and $88 for the ETBs is like the normal price. Bundles, sadly, they're back down to 57. Yeah, a lot of them are on 57, unfortunately. And then White Flare is about $50, also, unfortunately. So 23 so yesterday is not bad, but kind of stuck at that price point as well. All right, Final Fantasy price drops continue. So you see collector box down about, I think, $11. So yeah, they're down $12 down to $12.12. That is almost $100 a pack. We're at 101 a pack instead of 102 before. Collector box case is down $1, so but they're still selling for at 108 a pack versus loose packs still about 119 a pack. And then play boxes are going down. I think there's some reprint stuff going on. Or at least there's news of it definitely. But play boxes down 8, cases down 8, and then gift bundles are down $1. So for Final Fantasy, boxes, yeah, we're now down to like 4 boxes per day. And yeah, I said once we get down to 5, it just kind of goes downhill for here. Like, if you're just having 5 per day, you have to maintain that or go lower. So really not a lot of boxes sold. Look at the price ladder. Yeah, there's still only about a $10 differential between the highest and lowest listed. So yeah, not as much opportunity over here. And then for cases sold 0 yesterday. And yeah, the number of cases around 7,800 is just so many. It's still like about 12 of them. So yeah, these have to kind of go down. There's too much downward pressure with that many boxes. And then packs sold 6 yesterday. So we're still breaking out of the 5. Like there's some really just some key numbers here. And MVP Sports and Games, they still sell their packs for 123. And they're letting other sellers finally have a take of it. But yeah, I'm really curious to see when packs finally start to run down. 118 just seems like, that price differential between boxes and packs I keep talking about, but it's very, very apparent. For Omega packs, they're still around the same price as loose packs. They're around 120, and they sold 4 yesterday, 4 today. So demand increased a little bit. It hasn't really been selling that well lately, so that's good to increase it. And I'm starting to see after these 3 sellers, it goes back to 128. Japanese still has 690, and none sold last couple of days, unfortunately. Yeah, English is going down. Japanese is definitely going down. So that's kind of the case. Playbox is at 235. Yeah, they've been selling just a lot more. Just continue to sell a lot more. 19 sold yesterday. You see the uptick ever since October 8th, about 20 per day. And there's one seller selling for 235, then it goes back to 240. So the price is still about the same. Cases though, oh my god, they're down to 1,200. Oh yeah, actually I remember I saw this case yesterday. This was really cheap actually. It's still here, so no one's bought this case, even though this should be really cheap. Let me look at the price per pack. Yeah, normally cases are only a little bit less than play boxes per pack, but this is down to 680 a pack. It's like $1 less. It's pretty significant. Usually it's more like 30 to 50 cents. So yeah, it's just a really cheap deal. I haven't really seen cases this cheap in a while, so it's a really cheap deal for cases. Someone probably preparing for the reprints. And then for gift bundles, they're at 179. Sold 13 yesterday, so quite a few sold. So I wonder we'll see these uptick back. For gift bundles are also probably affected by the play box sort of reprints. Spiderman, I really feel like Spiderman has mostly bottomed. I remember Rudy talking about Amazon's gonna eventually run out. We're seeing 26 sold yesterday, 18 sold today, and it seems like it's kind of flatlining at the minimum around 470. I really think it'll go back up. Not that I'm a Magic expert or anything. And then play boxes, 26 sold. They're at 137 now. That wraps things up for this video. I hope you walked away with a better understanding of the market. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for more deep dives in the Pokemon market. Tell me what's the next big investment you're considering in the comments. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you all later.